The Fox Virginia News at 10 is next. Tonight, a 22-year-old suspect who's arrested for murder in Albemarle County last Thursday is now being charged. We have the details. Plus, if you're a UVA student or plan on going to UVA and your family makes less than $100,000 a year, the school will cover your tuition, but that's not the only thing. We've got the breakdown. And the Charlottesville Jewish community celebrating the 5th day of Hanukkah at the downtown mall. One rabbi explains why continuing this tradition is important, especially during the war going on in Israel. It's 10 o'clock, time for your Fox Virginia News.
Now, Fox Virginia News at 10.
Well, good Monday evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Alexia Williams. We'll get to all those stories in just a moment, but first, here's Travis with the Fastcast.
And now, your CBS 19 Weather Authority forecast from the Bright Star Care Charlottesville Weather Center.
Rain and snow left the area early this morning, and we gradually cleared the sky during the afternoon. That ended up being a nice soaker for the area this weekend with between 1 and 3 inches of rain. And of course, 4 to 6 inches of snow in the elevations around Wintergreen. Great start to their snowmaking season this year. In fact, they got more snow at Wintergreen this weekend than they did all of last winter. Skies are clear. Temperatures are cold. 27 for Orange and Louisa, 36 in Charlottesville, 31 for Waynesboro, mid-20s in Harrisonburg and Stanton. And as far as overnight lows go, I'm looking for mid to upper 20s for most of the area, but some of those elevations and valley spots that have fresh snowpack, you could probably find yourselves in the teens early tomorrow, so dress accordingly. But after a chilly start and a day of sunshine and less windy conditions, we'll manage a high of 52 in what should be a very seasonable Tuesday. We'll talk more about your Tuesday forecast and what's ahead for the midweek in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Travis. Our top story tonight, we're learning more about the arrest of a suspect in Albemarle County murder. Albemarle County police arrested Ian Legalo Malone of Richmond in the Fry Spring neighborhood last night. He's charged with second-degree murder in the death of 52-year-old Freitas Echtblue. That happened last Thursday. This case will be handled in juvenile and family court. We're also getting new information about the woman who allegedly trespassed on Charlottesville High School grounds in connection to one of the many fights that caused CHS to shut down just before Thanksgiving. Kierva Brynum appeared at the Charlottesville General District Court this morning. Fox Virginia was able to get the 18-year-old's arrest warrant, which gives us some more details on that fight. If you remembered, this happened back on November 16th. Police were called to the high school for the fight that got out of hand. According to the arrest warrant, Bynum trespassed on school property by coming in through a door near the gym. The warrant says that she was there to take part in a fight between her sister and other students. Investigators say that Bynum admitted that she trespassed onto school property. Now, trespassing carries a jail sentence of up to a year and a fine. Bynum has a public defender and will be back in court on January 26th. Charlottesville police is asking for your help in tracking down 3 suspects. Take a look. The first person you see is wanted for stealing several packages from a home on Cabell Avenue on November 28th. The second is Christopher John Flynn. He is wanted on drug charges in Greene County and for allegedly stealing a gun in Charlottesville. The third suspect is Michael Lee Taylor. He's wanted for felony grand larceny and for stealing packages on Cedars Court on November 21st. If you have any information, please call Crime Stoppers at 434-977-4000. As the sun began to set today on the 5th day of Hanukkah, Charlottesville's Jewish community gathered to celebrate their traditions by lighting up the downtown mall with the radiance of the menorah. Fox Virginia's Garrett Witten was at the ceremony and has more. Garrett.
Yeah, Alexia, Hanukkah has always been about spreading light and knowledge, but this year, Assistant Rabbi Ruvi Meyer at UVA's Chabad House says their significance has taken on more meaning this year.
As Jews, we have to be proud of who we are.
Monday marked the 5th night of Hanukkah, a time-honored tradition that commemorates the rededication of the Second Temple in Jerusalem over 2,000 years ago. But Assistant Rabbi at UVA's Chabad House, Ruvi Meyer, says it means more this year.
And a very important thing after, the horrific attacks of October 7th.
Meyer knows people in Israel, 3 of whom are soldiers in the Israeli Defense Forces who responded to the initial attack by Hamas.
I've spoken to them and just their stories of things that happened to them. And also I have friends who just are regular civilians that their lives are changed now because of the war that's happening.
He says the lights of the menorah on the downtown mall were lit Monday to spread light through the world amidst the war.
So it really ties in to this holiday of not only with spreading light, but also educating people. And that's how we're going to bring peace to the world, is by education and by doing good deeds and spreading light in the world.
This public display of Jewish pride, Meyer says, is a way to show the world how much his heritage means to him.
It could be easy to just go back into our shell and sort of retreat as a Jew and not be proud of who we are. But this is something why this gathering is so important, is to show that we're not going to back down.
This year, Hanukkah will end on the evening of December 15th. In the studio, Garrett Witten, Fox Virginia News.
All right, Garrett, thank you for that report. Charlottesville Area Transit's new program, MicroCat, has been getting a steady increase in ridership since it launched at the end of October. MicroCat has 6 vans that operate like rideshare services. Some of the vans are handicap accessible. They serve the 29 North and Pantops areas of Albemarle County. And the best part? It's free. So far, riders have heard about the program through the word of mouth. In the first week, there were 142 riders. Last week, there were 364. Their goal, 600 weekly riders.
Let people know that Uber and Lyft is not the only one that can do kind of on-demand service. It's convenient, easy to use. People are used to using Uber and Lyft. Why not use it on the public transit side also?
A full marketing campaign will start in January to help them reach that goal. The University of Virginia with a big announcement about the cost of going to college. The school says that it will pick up the tab for tuition and fees for families making less than $100,000 a year. Our Fox Virginia's Gretchen Stinger has the details.
This could be a huge opportunity for students with a family income of $50,000 or less to get a free education, and for students with a family income of $100,000 or less to get free tuition. 9% of all Virginian undergraduate students have household incomes below $50,000, and 19% are below $100,000. On Friday, the University of Virginia announced they will be relieving a huge financial burden.
Families earning $50,000 or less will receive grants and funds equal to tuition, fees, housing, and dining, and that previous threshold was $30,000. Virginia families with an income of $100,000 or less will receive scholarships and grants equal to tuition and fees, and that threshold is up from $80,000 in the past.
And that's a big announcement for students like Cyril Greer.
A lot of families can't afford the astronomical prices of, the sticker price of going here.
Greer, a third-year student at UVA, says he's actually been researching education policies and the student loan system. From his very own research, he knows people struggle.
Inflation is a big thing. It's been, over the past couple of years, 5 to anywhere to 10%.
Glover shares this is possible because of the UVA community.
This significant expansion of UVA's financial aid program will be covered entirely by philanthropic funds.
That just shows the power of the UVA network.
Greer says he hopes opportunities like this expand.
Because it has a great opportunity to reduce income inequality and in the long-term wealth inequality, because we know the student loan debt problem is a huge problem here in the U.S.
And if you're already graduated, he says there's still one way to help decrease your debt.
Public service loan forgiveness is a really big thing. It's a great program, and if you have spent 10 or more years in public service or nonprofit sector, then you have the opportunity to have your loans wiped out, but a lot of people don't know about it. Only 5% of eligible borrowers enroll in it.
Now, it should be noted that this is only for Virginia students, and if there are any questions, please contact the university's financial aid department. From grounds, Gretchen Stinger, Fox Virginia News.
Right now, tuition and fees for a first-year in-state student is about $19,000, and living expenses are another $19,000. That's about $38,000 in total. Reading lessons looked a little different today at Stone Robinson Elementary School. Kids Lift, which is a nonprofit that works with school-aged children to provide food, school supplies, and other necessities, partnered with Stone Robinson Elementary to bring interactive reading games and activities to the school. Take a listen.
That's the biggest thing. It's making sure that they continue their love for reading, joy of books, and continue that into just today, but then over the winter break, so that when we get back, they're still ready to learn and they're excited about coming in here and getting into books.
And the holiday-themed projects included working with volunteers to spell with gingerbread Play-Doh, reading festive books, and even cleaning up the library courtyard. The animals at the CASPA are all on the nice list and expecting a visit from Santa Paws this holiday season with the help of the annual Giving Tree fundraiser. Each year around this time, the CASPCA holds their fundraiser to make sure that every pet gets a gift for Christmas. The tree is covered with tags showing one of the animals in the shelter, the animal's name, and something that the animal would like to have. Now, obviously, the shelter says that all of its animals really want to have a permanent home for the holiday, but for now, they will accept treats and toys instead.
So this is just going to kind of go towards their everyday needs and make their season a little bit brighter. So whether that's toys, enrichment, items like that, treats, anything we can do to make their time with us a little bit more enjoyable while they're waiting for their forever home.
These gifts range from catnip toys to dog treats and even DNA tests. On December 25th, the staff and volunteers will visit the animals in the shelter with their gifts. If you'd like to help one of these cute little animals, be sure to visit our website for more information. Though most of Central Virginia just saw a dusting of snow, some areas in the mountains received up to 6 inches, turning the area into a winter wonderland. Our Fox Virginia's Sarah Allen has that story.
It is surely starting to look and feel like winter here at Wintergreen Resort, where they received over 4 inches of snow just last night.
With the opening of ski season just around the corner, Wintergreen is off to a strong start with receiving 4 inches of snow overnight. Marketing manager Josh Elwood tells us that this storm alone puts them ahead of the accumulation totals from last year.
We all want to forget last season, but actually with the snow we got last night, it surpassed our total amount of snow that we got last year. So the 4 inches already beat the total from all of last season.
While there wasn't any measurable accumulation in the low-lying areas of Central Virginia, the mountains woke up to multiple inches of snow. Perfect conditions for Wintergreen preparing for their peak season.
It's a great head start for the season, and we're looking forward to a great year.
Elwood says for those who are eagerly awaiting to hit the slopes should keep a close eye on the Wintergreen website for an announcement of their opening in the near future. In Nelson County, Sarah Allen, Fox Virginia News.
And because of the wet and/or snowy weather, Orange County is lifting its burn ban. Effective today, the normal rules are back in place, but fire officials still urging people to be careful. This comes as several fires burned across the area this past fall. The White House has a well-known visitor in town asking for more support from the U.S.
President Volodymyr Zelensky is making perhaps his most important visit to D.C. as aid for Ukraine hangs in the balance. I'm Mather Rivera in Washington with details on his high-stakes trip.
Now that our storm system bringing rain and snow is gone, it looks like a whole lot of nothing across the lower 48. But there's a whole lot of something in the 7-day forecast and still plenty to talk about. I'll give you the day-by-day breakdown coming up right after this.
And now, your CBS 19 Weather Authority forecast from the Bright Star Care Charlottesville Weather Center.
It's great to have your company on the Fox Virginia News at 10 on this Monday night. JES Skyline Network cam at show with the morning clouds and the afternoon sunshine. Little bit of frosting left on the hilltops because of the snow that fell at elevation late last night and early this morning. Many of you commenting on how beautiful things looked. I'll try and get some tower cam time lapses of that here later in the program. Skies clear for the moment, and those clouds just ending right at the West Virginia border. Our skies clear. Winds are much calmer than they were earlier. We had some gusts well over 35 miles per hour earlier, but now we're calm outside our Ryder Road studio. We're also at 33 degrees with 33 atop Carter Mountain and Show, the airport, at 36 with southwesterly winds. Temperatures elsewhere ranging from the mid-20s in Hot Springs and Stanton to 28 in Culpeper, 37 for D.C., 39 for Melfa, and 33 degrees in the Star City of Roanoke. I mentioned temperatures and how cool it's been, certainly cool enough to make snow at elevation. We're about 10 to 20 degrees colder this time than 24 hours ago, and those winds continuing to ease, though still a little blustery in spots, keeping in mind that Hot Springs Airport, where these observations are coming from, it's about 4,000 feet right on top of a mountain, so usual suspects tend to be a little windier at the mountain spots. And that high pressure system driving that cold air across the region today, finally squelching the winds as it moves to the east. Why is that important? Well, we lose the wind. We have cold temperatures tonight, but high pressure will keep us clear through tomorrow and eventually start bringing warmer air to the region. So while I don't think we'll be talking about shorts and t-shirt weather tomorrow by any stretch, even with a chilly start, it'll be a seasonable afternoon. Mid to upper 20s for lows before sunrise. Elevations, because you're a fresh snowpack, you might see a couple teens for temperatures early tomorrow. 46 at noon in Charlottesville, lower 50s for the afternoon. A very seasonable day and definitely not as windy as today. Clear skies for Tuesday night, the first part of Wednesday, and then Wednesday afternoon. Futurecast brings some clouds through. This is part of a very weak cold front, weak in terms of moisture. Just enough to make clouds, but not enough for rain and snow. After that, we clear the sky for Thursday. A blast of cooler air keeps temperatures in the 40s Thursday afternoon, but then we flip the script on Friday and warm back to the upper 50s and lower 60s, and those numbers will carry through the weekend. So tonight, most of us mid to upper 20s, few traditional colder spots and snowier spots, talking teens. And then for highs on Tuesday, 50 in Crozet, 52 in Charlottesville, Palmyra 51 and 53 in Orange. Cardinal Home Center extended forecast. A brief and slight cool down on Thursday, then mild temperatures for the weekend ahead. There are hints that we could be in for some rain, maybe a soaker late Sunday into Monday morning. However, there's not a lot of confidence in that. There's confidence enough to put it in the forecast, but not enough to pour that into concrete just yet. So don't be surprised, Lexia, if that changes or goes away in the days ahead.
You know, I don't know if I'm just ignorant on the topic, but waking up and seeing a little bit of snow, I was up in Arlington over the weekend, and seeing that snow, I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't think it was going to come this fast.
Yeah, well,
especially with the weather fluctuating and being warm one day, cold another, I didn't know.
It is December, plus we had all that rain before we changed over to snow, so maybe that's why it's a little head scratching, if you will.
Yeah, it was beautiful. I
Yes.
loved it. I can't wait to see more.
Yes.
So, all right, thank you, Travis. Across the nation, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky lands in Washington in an effort to secure more funding for his war-torn country. He will meet with President Biden, House Speaker Mike Johnson, and other lawmakers. Fox News correspondent Madeline Rivera has more on Zelensky's trip.
A last-minute appeal from Volodymyr Zelensky, who's heading to Capitol Hill to address lawmakers before they break for the holiday, all in an effort to keep American funding flowing in Ukraine's war against Russia. He warns the loss of U.S. support would be a gift to Russian President Vladimir Putin.
The whole world is watching us, observing what destiny other free nation could face to live freely or to be subjugated. Ukrainians haven't given up and won't give up.
Zelensky is hoping his visit can lead to a breakthrough as Republicans and Democrats struggle to reach a deal. There has been little progress after Senate Republicans last week blocked a bill that would have provided Israel and Ukraine with billions of dollars in security assistance. Republicans have tied Ukraine aid to immigration reform.
That aid will continue to be able to come, but we can't just ignore what's happening in our country while we're helping other people with theirs.
While some Democrats are slamming GOP demands, Senator Dick Durbin admits the current influx of migrants is unsustainable.
What we can do is come up with an agreement, I believe, on a bipartisan basis to enforce provisions and rules at the border that are consistent with American values.
President Biden has signaled he's willing to make significant compromises on the border, but Republicans say talks with the White House have not been moving fast enough.
So we've had some very long pauses here of engagement from them.
Zelensky's agenda on Tuesday includes meetings with President Biden and House Speaker Mike Johnson. In Washington, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
Hello, I'm Kirsten Ashbaugh from Wilkinson Wealth Management, and here are your stocks of local interest for today.
You're watching Fox Virginia News at 10. Thanks to you, the #1 rated 10 p.m. newscast in Central Virginia.
Welcome back, everyone. It's 10:30. I'm Alexia Williams, and you're watching Virginia's own news at 10. Time to check in with Chief Meteorologist Travis Koshko.
And now, your CBS 19 Weather Authority forecast from the Bright Star Care Charlottesville Weather Center.
Another one of those days that felt a lot colder than thermometers indicate. When the dust settled and temperatures, we ended up below normal by a few degrees, but we did make it to 49 at the airport this afternoon in Charlottesville. 52 the normal high this time of year. Woke up this morning with temperatures in the upper 30s around the area, but going to be a lot colder tonight as we've already seen upper 20s in Orange, Locust Grove, and Louisa. Covesville 31, 32 in downtown Charlottesville, 30 in Piney River, and 30 degrees in Palmyra. So chilly start with 20s for lows and maybe some teens at elevation, but we'll rebound tomorrow. The reason, south-southwesterly breeze, a light one. Nothing compared to what we had today, but a warmer flow of air should send us to a high of 52. And I do expect sunshine for the entire day. So I've shown you numbers in terms of temperatures. How about rainfall? Where do we stand now with our deficit? I'll have the answer for you in just a few.
All right, thank you, Travis. Well, in today's fast-paced global economy, knowing more than one language could make you more marketable as an employee. But as more businesses look to hire people with foreign language skills, many positions are staying empty. Fox News' Chris DeMio takes a look at some of the negative impacts that can stem from students not studying a foreign language. Take a look.
The number of American college students learning a foreign language is in steep decline, and academic experts say the trend could spell disaster for the health and wealth of the nation.
Declines in language study and the lack of knowledge of other languages have made the nation vulnerable on an international stage, weakening national security as well as the economy.
Deborah Cohn of Indiana University says the decrease noticeably began in 2009.
A November 2023 report by the Modern Language Association shows that college-level enrollments fell almost 17% between 2016 and 2021. This continues a trend since the Great Recession, where enrollments have fallen almost 30% nationwide between 2009 and 2021.
With many of the most commonly taught languages still being impacted.
Arabic fell by almost 35%, Chinese by almost 25%, French by 37%, German by 44%, and Spanish by 32%.
Cohen says a lack of foreign language proficiency is bad for businesses, as well as many prospective employees looking for a job.
Employers need language skills to compete in today's economy. Many U.S. jobs depend on global trade, and research has shown that the number of job postings seeking workers with foreign language skills is increasing rapidly.
So far, it's been especially true for many government positions.
In 2020, nearly a quarter of the State Department's overseas positions were held by people that did not meet the language proficiency requirements for their jobs. The Department of Defense cannot fill many of its 30,000 positions that require languages.
Chris DeMeo, Fox News.
And now, your CBS 19 Weather Authority forecast from the Bright Star Care Charlottesville Weather Center.
All right, found us a good time lapse here at the mountains. Carter Mountain JES Skyline Network. Look at the snow this morning. Just absolutely beautiful. But then a lot of it melted as we got temperatures in the 40s this afternoon. And really, it's the highest tippy-top peaks like Wintergreen that were able to hang on to their snow accumulations here through the last several hours. So rain and snow aside, we only got 1,300ths of that today, but most of it, of course, falling yesterday. Off to a wet start this month. We're not even halfway through December, and we're already at 2.6 inches, which is great. We have taken a large chunk out of our deficit, which stands at 14.5 inches. Yeah, it's large. We're still going to have a large deficit at the end of the year. And remember, when we end the year, it's not like we automatically reset things at zero. By numbers, yes, but we're still going to be dry going into the start of 2024. Now, State Drought Monitor will be analyzed tomorrow morning, and then the results come out Thursday morning. So hopefully, if anything, we can reduce this severe drought area across the region, given the widespread rain we've had. But again, numbers reflecting that we still have a long ways to go. Sunshine Tuesday, 52 in Charlottesville, Arvonia 53, Ruckersville 52, 51 for Culpeper, 53 in Orange, 53 in Kent Store and Lake Anna, 55 in Gum Spring and Lake Monticello, your high tomorrow 52. Heading to the valley, Stanton 48, Waynesboro 49, Harrisonburg at 48 degrees. Traveling elsewhere, We're talking numbers in the lower 50s around Richmond with sunshine in D.C., Norfolk, and Roanoke, and air quality that should be good for the foreseeable future. 1 high pressure system, 2 high pressure systems, 3 basically keeping us dry into the weekend. Cold front moves through Wednesday morning, few clouds in the afternoon. No rain, but I am still eyeing the possibility of rain late Sunday into Monday, but getting less optimistic that it will happen. Last thing to show you, normal high this time of year, 52. We're close to it for a good chunk of the extended, but we certainly have our cool days and our warm days. But Alexia, nothing extreme in terms of our temperatures over the next week.
All right, thank you, Travis. Health Check now taking a look at some of today's top health stories. A new report finds nearly 20 million people worldwide died from cardiovascular disease in 2022, with the main causes being high blood pressure, high cholesterol, poor diet, and air pollution. The study's lead author from the University of Washington said an enormous number of those deaths were premature and preventable. It's a season of joy and junk food. If you're worried about putting on that extra holiday weight, well, you're not alone. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has more with a doctor on ways to avoid packing on those holiday pounds.
From holiday cookies to cakes and carbs, overdoing it on holiday treats can be the gift that keeps on giving.
The average person gains about a half a pound to 1 pound during the holiday season.
Dr. Jesse Bracamonte with Mayo Clinic says many people don't lose that weight. Over time, it can add up.
It puts us at risk for problems such as diabetes, heart disease, hypertension, some types of inflammatory problems such as even some cancers.
Maintaining a healthy weight during the holidays can be hard. Bracamonte says it's okay to enjoy food you love, but be strategic.
Stay on your focused mealtime plans, which means if you have breakfast, have your breakfast. Stick to your lunch. Try not to overindulge and skip meals.
Bracamonte says to limit sugary drinks and alcohol, which can add empty calories. Remember to keep up with exercise, even a 10-minute walk before or after holiday gatherings. Control your stress level. We tend to eat more when we're stressed, and don't graze at those gatherings.
Have a small plate to place the food on rather than doing the eat and peck method. You tend to eat more calories with that. Having a smaller plate may help to kind of limit those calories.
Finally, slow down and savor the holiday food.
You're typically going to be more conscientious of what goes in your mouth. And plus, what goes in your mouth, you must enjoy.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
AAA predicts holiday travel will be close to pre-pandemic levels. The agency says roughly 115 million Americans will travel at least 50 miles from home. That's up about 2% from last year. The biggest jump will be in the air travel.
This just continues the trend that we've seen all throughout 2023. People still have this desire to travel. They are willing to pay the prices, but they just see the value that it brings to their lives to get away with family and friends or go on vacation. But leisure travel remains very important for people.
AAA expects the Saturdays before Christmas and New Year's to be very congested days on the roads, while the holidays themselves will be less busy. In Hollywood now, award season is getting started, and nominees in film and TV for the 2024 Golden Globe Awards have been announced. Here's Fox's Ashley Dworkin with the latest.
Best Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy.
It's a Barbie world at the Golden Globe nominations. The billion-dollar movie leads the way with a top tally of 9 nods total.
Our imaginings horrify us.
Proving the Barbenheimer phenomenon continues, the biopic Oppenheimer is next with 8. Barbie is up for Best Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy, along with Air, American Fiction, The Holdovers, May, December, and Poor Things. Joining Oppenheimer in the Best Motion Picture Drama category are Anatomy of a Fall, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Past Lives, and The Zone of Interest.
Got plenty on my plate.
The Roys go into the Globes with the most nominations in TV. Succession leads for the small screen with 9, including a nod for Best Drama Series. Other nominees include 1923, The Crown, The Diplomat, The Last of Us, and The Morning Show.
It is time to get this party started.
Hit series up for Best Musical or Comedy are Abbott Elementary, Barry, The Bear, Jury Duty, Only Murders in the Building, and Ted Lasso. This year, there are 2 new categories. A trophy will be given for Best Stand-Up Comedian on Television, where contenders are Ricky Gervais, Trevor Noah, Chris Rock, Amy Schumer, Sarah Silverman, and Wanda Sykes.
This is the best day ever.
On the big screen, cinematic and box office achievement is being awarded, and both Barbie and Oppenheimer are up for that honor. Blockbusters joining them are Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, John Wick Chapter 4, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, the Super Mario Bros. Movie, and Taylor Swift The Eras Tour. The 81st Golden Globes air live January 7th on its new network, CBS, and stream on Paramount+. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
And I also can't say I've seen any of those movies, so I guess I have some catching up to do.
I've seen the Barbie one like 4 times now.
You and my wife both. 40s and 50s for the remainder of the week. Maybe some rain late Sunday into Monday, but all told, it's going to be a fairly dry, extended forecast. And temperature swings, not crazy. Numbers will stay close to seasonal values.
All right. Well, thank you, Travis, and thank you so much for joining us in your Fox Virginia News at 10. We'll see you back here again tomorrow. Have a great night.